Welcome to the Fraction Face-Off Project Scale Implementation Team. We're so excited that you are part of this study. In this video, I'm going to share with you a checklist on how to get started with Fraction Face-Off. First, before using Fraction Face-Off with your students, you want to make sure you've worked with your site coordinator to take your teacher pre-measures and your student pre-measures. Then you should receive an implementation ready kit, and you need to complete some of the training. What is an implementation ready kit? You will be excited to know that all of the materials in the implementation ready kit you will get to keep even at the conclusion of the study. The bag contains all of the manipulatives, flashcards, and various materials that you'll need to implement Fraction Face-Off. The Spirobomb book is your manual, and the binder is your student worksheets Blackline Masters. Within the worksheet Blackline Masters, you will notice there is a note that says attention, and it has a football on it. Through the course of the study, we've learned that teachers need some flexibility in which problems they complete to maintain the 30-minute timeline that they would like to have during the intervention. Therefore, some of the relay and individual contest problems have been denoted with a football. The football problems are required. All students need to complete the football problems. If time allows, the rest of the problems on the page are encouraged and are available for your completion. For example, on this relay page, you will see that problem A and problem B have a football on them. At a minimum, students need to complete the 2 problems with the football. However, it's great if you can do additional problems. Training. Training is a very important part of the component of the study this year. We are studying the effectiveness of the virtual training for Fraction Face-Off. You will see in the orange box, there are 4 sections of training that need to be completed initially. Content and Pedagogy Part 1, 2, and 3 are designed to provide you with research and evidence-based practices, how to use the materials, and the layout of the manual itself. These parts are intended to really give you that background information on how you can be most effective using Fraction Face-Off. Then you will take just-in-time lessons 1 through 6. In the just-in-time training, we give you a peek into the lessons and help you see how materials are laid out. You have an opportunity to work some problems and really engage with the content. These 4 parts must be completed before you begin doing Fraction Face-Off with your students. Then, before you teach lesson 7, you should complete just-in-time training 7 through 12. And then it continues every 6 lessons, lesson 13, 19, 25, and 31. Before teaching those lessons, you want to complete that just-in-time training. Each of the 9 trainings take about an hour each. So you'll need 4 hours to complete the orange part of the training, which is required before you begin teaching Fraction Face-Off. When you're working on the training, you will need your implementation ready pack handy. Be prepared to mark with pencil or highlighter in your notebook and use scratch paper to work out the problems. Remember, the binder is Blackline Masters, so you don't want to write on those during the training. To get started with the training, you first need to create a login for Bridge RI. You will receive directions of how to do this via email. Once you've created the login, you will be prompted to confirm your login via email through the system. Then, once you confirm your email, you'll be able to enroll in the Scale Fraction Face-Off training. These 3 things must be done to be able to get started with the 4 initial trainings. Once you enroll in the course, you will be able to log in and you will see as you scroll down a part that says Meet the Course Developers. You're welcome to click on that to understand more about who developed this course. Then below that, you'll see a bold statement that says, if you have read and understand the statement above, please manually mark as done to the right to signify your acceptance of the statement. You want to click that button. It won't be green when you click it, but once you click it, it'll be marked done. Then you'll need to view the course information. Once you view the course information, you'll see a check mark that says you have viewed that section. Below these 2 parts is the beginning of content and pedagogy training. You will see part 1, part 2, and part 3 all have approximate times of between 15 and 18 minutes. When you complete part 1, it will be marked done that the activity has been completed. If you need to complete an activity, it will say to do, complete this activity. So you're able to log out and log back in at your convenience and take each part of the training. Once you've completed those components, it is important to know that you will be required to do the Tell Us How We Did section. Tell Us How We Did is very, very important for the research study. You will do the Tell Us How We Did component 7 times. Maybe. So after you do the content and pedagogy part 1 through 3, you will do Tell Us How We Did. When you click on Tell Us How We Did, you'll see feedback survey. Please complete the training satisfaction survey. If you click the word training satisfaction survey, it will take you to an external website where you will complete a survey that tells us more information about how the training went for you. This is a very important component of the research project and part of how we better understand the value of the training that you're being provided. You'll take that again at the end of content and pedagogy part 3, at the end of just-in-time lessons 1 through 6, and at the end of each of the additional 5 trainings. This is very important to the research project. If you do not complete this, the research team will reach out to you and ask you or remind you to complete it. So the next thing is once you complete all 4 of those trainings, you'll follow implementation procedures. First, you'll need to track attendance, which I'll show you how to do. Answer some emails to help us support your scheduling of observations. We will conduct 4 observations. The first observation and the third observation will include coaching feedback. We will send you a follow-up email with Glows and Grow opportunities, and we are happy to come out and support you in additional ways. We want you to also feel like you can reach out to us if you have questions. We definitely want to support you. So always know that you can reach out to us if you have questions or concerns or something's just not going right. The feedback is very valuable to the project, and we're here to support you. Just know that formally we will observe you 4 times, and 2 of those 4 times we will provide you feedback via email. When tracking attendance, you'll see on this list, you're going to be provided a spreadsheet or a handout that has the information. It's going to be all of your students that are consented. Only the consented students will appear on this list. If you have additional students that did not consent that are in your intervention group, you do not need to track their attendance. However, when you see on this document, you'll see that it asks you for what date did you teach lesson 1? You'll fill in the date in that column. And then if a student is absent, you'll put a 0. If the student is present, you'll put a 1. Then you'll repeat the same process for lesson 2 all the way through lesson 36. Additionally, it's important to know that if more than 50% of the students are absent on a day that you plan to teach an FSO lesson, you should not teach the lesson. You should focus on another skill not related to FFO content if you do need to teach an intervention lesson still. It is important to note that if more than 50% of the students are absent, you would not fill in the attendance worksheet. Instead, you would just teach the lesson the next day. So for example, for lesson 2 here, if on October 20th, more than 3 students were absent, I would not have filled in October 20th. I might have taught that lesson on October 21st instead. So this is only meant to document the date that you actually teach the lesson. And if less than 50% of the students are absent, it would be okay to go ahead and teach the lesson. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to your site coordinator. Thank you so much for your participation. And if we can answer any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.